Welcome in, everyone. Welcome to Pastime Picks Podcast. I'm Keith, Vintage Sport Flips.
And I'm Andy, the King of Pennants.
So, guys, this week we're going to draft our all-time baseball lineups, position by position. We called it MLB. We might sneak in a Negro Leaguer in the draft. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how the draft unfolds. And should be an interesting one because there's some positions are deeper than others, right, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, this is I think you have a decidedly large advantage in this just because I don't know baseball nearly as much. You definitely know the older style too, but like you only really need to know like one or two players. But yeah, there are decidedly stronger positions which have, multiple kind of best players ever type of thing. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where we how we draft this.
Yeah, and there's a chance people watching the draft either now live or in the replay are going to say, why did he take that player there? Because some positions might have like two guys that are worthy of picking. I mean, there's a lot of players, but other positions where there's like Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer, like, can you wait on that position a little bit? So
exactly. Well, all of the let's just get this clear. All of these positions have. I hope we're taking Hall of Famers. Maybe you're not.
Real sleeper, yeah. So it'll be a fun draft, and we have several reselling segments, including a segment where we have a giveaway. Let me show the giveaway here, the giveaway options in the sales of the week segment. So the sales of the week, we're going to have a giveaway where the winner who gets closest to one of the selling prices with their guess is going to get to choose between these three giveaways: a pair of Pennants, 1914 tobacco felt, and a wax pack bundle there. So I'll go over them in more detail when we get closer to that. What's up, Mark? Welcome in. And we had the Real Life Perspective show come in a little earlier. So thank you for hopping in. Guys, definitely check out the Real Life Perspective show. Great, like pop culture, 80s, 90s, movie, toys, a little bit of everything. Does a lot of live shows. Great channel.
Oh, I should tell you, we this past weekend, I guess this past Friday, we went to a trivia on Friday. It was a 90s trivia thing.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the categories was best dogs, I think, or something in the 90s.
Oh, wow, you're prepared.
I'm prepared for this. I was like, I know who Buck is, and I wouldn't have known that before. And nobody came. It was the dog.
You didn't know Buck? You didn't know Buck before?
No, I don't think I would have remembered.
Disappointing.
It was one of the dogs was the dog from Frasier, which I was, for the life of me, could not remember.
I think we said Eddie when we talked about it.
Yeah, it was Eddie.
And
it's so sad.
And on that note, this is the first draft in several weeks. You beat me pretty handily.
Woo! I felt this one, baby. I felt it from the start.
Yeah, it was 86% to 14% in King of Pennants' favor. I know one of those votes was a Archie Biscuit Butt sympathy vote for me. He posted that in the comments. So I would have been even lower without Archie getting my back that way.
I feel like I should get double points for that. Don't you think? Like I should get two wins? No,
I don't think so. Okay. I don't think so.
Yeah, no,
absolutely,
that's cool.
Man. For sure, man. Yeah. So we've got to support each other. There are a lot of great channels and, a lot of great channels that do lives, which is not easy. Not everyone does them. So, all right. And then also after the last pick, we have one bench player we're going to choose, and we're also going to open a pack of, or I'm going to open it for us, a pack of 89 Fleer baseball cards, and we're going to choose a player out of the pack as our last player.
I'm trying to think who could squeak in there for us.
89 is a good year because there's a lot of like Hall of Famers at the end of their career and some younger guys, True. So Brandon Johnson's rookie year.
Yeah, I will say in your defense, this time maybe we should just spin again at the end.
I was going to say, spin or just give it to me first, right? Because for the people who didn't watch, like 2 weeks ago, we did the same draft in basketball. We both opened a pack of basketball cards. Andy opened his first, pulled Dominique Wilkins.
Yeah. Would you get Rick Smits or somebody or Kurt Rambis?
I pulled Dominique Wilkins too, but I couldn't.
Manute Ball.
Had him, so I got Manute Ball.
Right.
And even one of the comments on the video was like Manute Ball ? Like,
yeah, we don't always do the best job of explaining some of the rules throughout the thing, but yeah.
No, we explained it, but he saw the post.
Well, yeah, if you don't watch the entire thing,
that was like an hour and a half in. He might not have watched an hour and a half into the show.
That's right.
All right, let me get to the spinning wheel here. And,
all right. What are your thoughts? Do you want to go first, or do you want the next two picks?
I'm all right either way, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm all right either way in this one.
This is going to be an interesting one for sure. I will say there are a couple players too that are probably known for multiple positions. I don't know how we want to handle that, but we can bring up one or two. I'll bring it up. I mean, put it this way: he's not one of these guys. Is not going to be my first pick, but he might be my second pick. And if you're like, no, he was. I mean, you may know better what he was really known for. I've seen him in 2 different categories.
Okay, we can talk it when we get to that point. Yeah.
So, but I'll defer to yours, or it could be either one or the other too. It's not like he's a DH and a first baseman or something. But
okay, all right. Let me get the wheel going here.
Okay.
All right, that's the way it's been most of this.
I know
podcast, right?
Let me see now. Do you? I'm trying to think. Do you want to trade? Maybe.
No, I'll stand pat because it's going to get complicated. Okay. I got 2 draft boards to update on this one, so it's going to be a little.
No, when I mean trade, I mean, do you want to swap? Like, I don't mean like the whole thing. We'll swap.
No. You take it.
You take it. All right.
Because I had one player, it might have been a reach, so it's a little more less of a reach at 2 or 3. I mean, a reach in some people's eyes.
Gotcha. All right. This is tough, honestly. I was hoping kind of to pick second. But I think push comes to shove. I think widely considered the best baseball player in history is Babe Ruth. So I'm going to go with Babe Ruth as my right fielder. He obviously had an incredible career. The problem that I had with this first pick is that right field is deep. I'm not going to lie. There's a fair amount of right fielders that you can pick. But here's my benefit to him. Oh, by the way, I do have a new kind of what is it? Not anagram, but
acronym.
Acronym. Wow, I couldn't think of it. I have a new acronym for my picking. It's not actually like an actual like method. It's just a way to focus what I really want, and that's the have only most engaging roster, or Homer.
Have is a letter. Okay.
Yeah.
Have only most engaging roster.
And so my thought process behind that is I've learned my lesson from getting kind of trounced on in the football thing, where I kind of, I'm sorry, basketball.
Basketball, yeah.
Where I try to get
a lot of them.
Try to get a little cute. No. What about last week? Where I tried to get a little cute. I tried to get a little cute. Tried to, I didn't get like certain player. I probably should have drafted LeBron, his name, all that stuff. I took some players. Magic, I think I took second. I didn't. So what I'm going for big names. I'm going for ballers.
You're just trying to suck up to the audience. It sounds like that's what the Homer acronym sounds for. That's all right. I like it. Let me catch up on the chat here though. So what's up, Dan? Welcome in. No, so far Andy just picked number 1. He took Babe Ruth. And I will say, I did a lot of my rankings based on the WAR. Do you know what the WAR stat is?
I do. Yeah, that's the it's the replacement, right? It's the
wins above replacement.
Yeah.
So he had by far the highest WAR on any player, and plus you get a little extra pitching bonus in there. He had
that was he didn't let me finish. He was my
I let you finish. I let you finish.
Well, no, he was my. I literally have it. He's my emergency pitcher. But anyway, stat wise, amazing. Obviously, 342 lifetime average, 714 home runs, and
for sure.
214 RBIs. That is quite the career for a bit of a
not a bad start.
Guy.
What's up, Mark? So Dan's Vintage Baseball PC, is that a podcast? I haven't heard of that one, but I'll definitely check it out. And I have a buddy who's he must have like 10 sets to 71 Topps Baseball. That's his set that he always tries to build over and over again. He's a dealer too. But so I'll definitely check that out, look that up. Okay. So and Harry, welcome in, Harry. Harry throwing a Mike Schmidt and a John Crook. I'm a big John Crook fan, great announcer.
Yeah.
And
similar body type to Babe.
So you had Mark's pick. That must have been your pick that you got in your vote. He voted for you. That must have been the one guy that voted for you.
Well, thank you, Mark. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Magic was a bit of a loose cannon pick, maybe.
And by the way, let me tease this real quick, Andy. So since Dan just came in the chat, next week we have a special guest. We have Dan and the Man. We're drafting our favorite comedy movies. Jen, I did you right here. I put you as Bradley Cooper. I sacrificed. I made myself the dentist, and we made Andy the baby there. Andy wasn't happy with that.
Appreciate that. Yeah. I look pretty good, pretty handsome for a baby. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know. So, but yeah, that'll be a fun time. Next week, 8:00, we're doing movies with Dan in Demand.
Comedy movies, right?
That's comedy movies. Yeah. I'll see that again later. All right. Cool. So Babe Ruth number 1.
So here, quick question for you. We're going to do multiple picks per round? Is that what you wanted to do? Like two
Oh yeah, no, we're going to do 2. Yeah, 2 and 2. Yeah, okay. So we'll do 2.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, that's actually more pressure than on me, huh? I'm doing 2.
That's right. So what would you have gone Ruth as number 1?
Yeah, I would have gone Ruth as number 1. I think you have to do that. All right. I'm gonna go. Oh, this is tough.
He's already floundering. I took one player and
I'm not floundering. I'm not floundering. All right. I'm gonna go my number 1 pick, another Yankee. Again, this is a position I think is a little not quite as deep. I mean, there's 2 guys that are solid, but I'm gonna go Lou Gehrig. I mean, the career was cut short a little bit with obviously Lou Gehrig's disease, and but he had a long career. Obviously, he had the Ironman streak, but for first base is a position that, I mean, you have some other guys there, but I wanted Gehrig there. 340 lifetime batting average, 493 home runs at a time when power wasn't a huge part of the game yet. I mean, some players were. Obviously Ruth hit for a lot of power.
I was surprised that he had under 500 home runs. I guess he wasn't necessarily, but I mean, he was. I mean, he's no Babe Ruth. I mean, Babe Ruth had a better average and more home runs and more RBIs and all that stuff.
Yeah, Fox is definitely in there too. Yeah, and there's another player I think is close. You definitely can pick active players, Dan. I don't know if I'll be doing that. I skew going back in history a bit more than that. But here we go. Yeah, on that note, so this is Ken SSK promo Andy that I'm doing the show tomorrow with. And on that note, guys, check out on Ken's channel, I can't talk tonight. SSK promo. We're doing the live show where we're having a pennant competition where we are going to each show 10 pennants from our death pile, list them, see who can sell more in a week's time. So it'll be a fun time.
Is that more or just the largest price?
I'll probably discuss that more. I don't know. I don't know if it's more and price. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But it'll be a fun time.
I'm going to put you on the spot there.
Yeah, that's all right. But I picked some interesting pennants out. Some stuff that's pretty cool.
Very good.
All right. So yeah, that vote or that pick might have some people questioning that pick a little bit, but I like it because it's a shallow position.
Yeah. Yeah. Gehrig's I mean, I think he's pretty clear. It's weird because I was looking through some of these stats. It's surprisingly first of all, it's the difference between the dead ball era and all this juiced era. Here, let me before we get too far into this as well. I'm assuming we're picking these players as the best version of this player, right?
Yeah, not prime in their prime.
Yeah. Not necessarily saying that it was you were only picking their best year or something like that, but his best, at his best. So, I mean, are we allowed to, I know we're allowed to, but are we allowed to pick the players during the juiced era? I mean, do we get them at their most roided?
Start roided up guys. I think I have one on my list.
The most roided guy might be.
Yeah, I didn't put the most roided guy on my list, but I shouldn't tease that too much. All right, but next on my second pick on the wraparound, another position that I think is even less packed with stars. I mean, there's definitely big names at this position, but this guy, and I think a lot of your average baseball fans probably aren't that familiar with this player. But the guy I talked about before in this channel, and if you remember any, I had a jersey that might have been worn by this player.
Okay.
But I'm going to the second base position. I'm going to Rogers Hornsby, St. Louis Cardinals, second baseman.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the best hitters of his era, best hitters ever. I mean, 358 lifetime batting average, 301 home runs. Not a time when there was a ton of power. He played in the teens through the 20s into the early 30s. But second base is a position that's not very deep. And I'll roll with a 360 batting average second baseman there in my squad.
I agree. Yeah, that's he is far and away. I mean, 2 Triple Crowns, 2 NL MVPs. He's a stud. He's a tough. Yeah, I mean that's a tough position.
Yeah,
for sure. I think after that it kind of drops off.
Yeah, and that's why. I mean, I think other outfield positions and other positions, there's like banger after banger of player, right? And I'd be happy with number 2 or even number 3 at those spots. But second base, I mean, I don't want to be getting down in the Craig Biggio territory. not that he was on my list, but I'm saying like,
no, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, that was a good pick. He was. I don't know if I would have picked him second, but yeah, I understand the rationale behind it. His stats are just incredible. So
yeah.
Okay. So I know I have 2 picks in a row, so I feel like I'm in decent shape for doing a couple things here. So I'm going to go with, I think, something that has, obviously all these guys are going to have 5 tiers to them, right? So, but this is the most, I think, 5-tier person you could have. And that's Willie Mays in center field. He has, just incredible stats. He's an incredible outfielder. That's
a strong one. That's a strong pick for sure.
I know. Yeah. 302 average. I know he's a home run hitter, but I mean, he's 660 home runs. I didn't realize that.
And a great defensive player too, right? I mean, he had the catch. I mean, the over the shoulder.
Exactly.
That's a strong pick. And that's a position there's stars there, but not as deep as the corner outfields, right? I mean,
right. So yeah, I mean, he was a good base stealer. This is some of this stuff. This is kind of interesting to go down the line. He was a 24-time All-Star player and a 2-time MVP. So,
and he was like the first 5-tool player, right? I mean,
I think so.
Probably, I would say. I mean, I don't know of any. Maybe there's some other ones, but I think he would sort of define the 5-tool kind of athlete.
No, definitely
for baseball. Let me type that in for you.
Yeah, the 2 honestly. I wanted 2 out of the 3 of which I got. So I wouldn't have taken Hornsby. It's a good pick. I probably would have taken him next. But there were 3 players of the 3 players, there's Gehrig, Ruth, and Mays. I really wanted Ruth and Mays are I think would have been, that would be my ultimate, which is what I got.
What did you say, Ruth and Mays?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know Ruth was not the best right fielder in terms of kind of covering ground, but I mean, it's a pretty good field, pretty good outfield.
Yeah, you made up with a little bit of a rangy center fielder, right? So that helps when you get a lumbering right fielder. Although, I mean, Andy wasn't happy in the thumbnail for this, and I made him Babe Ruth. He's like, he doesn't like how he runs. But Andy, you're seeing those little Charlie Chaplin-esque videos where it's they're pieced together and they're all film where he's looks like he's going down the baseline.
That's true.
And it was, you can't be 714 home runs and not be an athlete.
That's true. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it was a different game too. That's the whole thing. That's true. But
yeah, that's true. I mean, you have to go back pretty far to get a Hall of Famer for the Tigers, right? I mean, we're talking Hayline, Jack Morris, maybe
Alan Trammell.
Trammell. Morris, he's got to be in the Hall of Fame.
Cabrera will be. I don't know if he is right away, but I mean, Lou Whitaker is also. But yeah, I mean,
is Lou Whitaker in the Hall of Fame?
I think so.
Okay, they're still going back pretty far.
I know. Well, okay, Cabrera will be in the next.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
He's the first.
That's
ballot,
true.
But I don't think it's maybe. I think Cabrera is a first-time ballot, no question. But
yeah, just longevity, right? And he's always a solid.
I mean, he's a incredible hitter too. All things considered.
All right, let me get to our first segment here.
Did not know that. Okay, I thought he was. Sale of the week. All right.
So in this segment, for people new to the channel, which I obviously a lot of people have been here before in the chat, we're going to show each other our sales of the week or some sales from the past week. Andy's going to guess mine. I'm going to guess his. The goal is we want to get within 10% of our selling prices. On my second item and the third item overall, we're going to do a giveaway. And the giveaway winner gets to choose between this, and I'll show this again in detail right before that. You get to choose between the tobacco blanket, wax pack bundle, and the 2 pennants. So we'll go over that again on the third item. Let me get to
you get bonus points if you pick the tobacco player on your team, though, right? Is that true?
Tobacco.
Whoever sends the tobacco.
I'm hoping there's several. Let's see. Yeah, there might be several tobacco era players.
No, I'm talking about the guy that's on the little.
Oh, well, I think I said that on my post.
Who's Cole? Is that who it is?
Yeah,
okay.
King Cole, Yankees, King Cole.
Yeah.
Man, these things are all out of order.
Not to be confused with Nat King Cole.
No, I don't think it's a relation.
Well, we know how you know.
Don't start with that. All right. Andy, so this is a press photo. Let me
see if I remember what a press photo is it's a press photo versus a. Okay, so this is
original Type 1 photograph, 1920s. Let me see if I get the exact year on it. It might have been dated. No, I'm sorry, 1930s, 1932 to 34.
Okay.
I don't know if you know this player. He's not going to be on our list, on our draft. But this, and I'll tell you the player. You tell me if you know why he's significant. But this player's named Mo Berg. Mo Berg, catcher. He's playing with Washington in this photo.
Interesting. No, I do not.
Wasn't a great player. He had a long career.
Oh, wait a minute. Was he the guy? Did he do like the women's league?
No. Okay. No, that might be Jimmy Fox. I think you're talking about. But yeah, Mark got it in the chat over here. He was a spy. Mark. He was a spy. He worked for the CIA, or at that point, it might have been the OAA or I forget the name of that office. It wasn't the CIA yet. But in World War II, I guess under the guise of like goodwill baseball tours, he would try. He was in Japan, like photographing different naval air stations or whatever he was doing there. But he was working for the government while on these USO tours and on different baseball trips. And so baseball catcher and a spy, American hero, World War II.
Very cool.
Yeah, the OPP. There we go. Yeah, no, it was a different name than the CIA.
Not to be confused with the song either, right?
Are you down with OPP? Yeah, that's our heyday of our rap.
Yeah, you know me.
In the early 90s. Yeah. Is that Naughty by Nature? Who is that? Who's that?
It was, yeah, I think it was Naughty by Nature.
Yeah. Don't mean I hate you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So this has got some historical significance. It's an original photo. You said, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whew, okay. Well, guys, feel free to chime in with some guesses because I could use some help on this one. This is tough. I feel like this could be a pretty big number. But I don't know photos at all. It's kind of one of those voids that I have. So 125.
So, Mr. Cup fan, how's it going, man? It is a Type 1, yes. And I will say, Andy, while you're brainstorming here, can we get bookend price? This kind of thing, you mean like a high, low, like a price guide price? And there's not really anything like that for this kind of piece. I mean, sometimes this kind of item is sort of making up a price, really. I mean, I did comp it out. There are some examples, but Type 1 photos, it's like every photo is different. Clarity, the content. So, and I will say a reseller that I know, a friend of mine who's a reseller bought this. So you'll probably see it on eBay again for more than I sold it for, which I'm always happy to leave a little meat on the bone for someone else. He buys a lot from me.
Okay. Some good guesses, I think. Coming. Yeah. I think everybody believes this to be a good item, for sure. So we got the highest so far. We got Mark at 400. 69 maybe is the lowest so far I've seen. Okay, I think it's more. I think it's more than anybody's guessed so far. I think for a couple reasons, just because, that historical significance is really kind of throwing me. So I'm going to go $4.99 is what you, that's what you got.
$4.99 selling price. Okay. Let me let you know how you did.
Oh boy, it doesn't sound like I did well.
Are you crying?
No.
Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
That is not a win for you there. Oof. But I will say, I mean, the Real Life Perspective show, pretty darn close. He would have won it. And I put this in. This is not one of my strongest sales of the week, but it was my more interesting sale of the week, which is why I put it in.
Oh.
So I stuckered you with that one because usually my first sale is a banger. Right? I got you with that one. But $75 in this photo. I'm sure I did leave a little meat on the bone. I think I had it for $129. These photos sell in the $100 to $150 range, I would say. Not a great player, but historical
interesting
figure.
Backstory,
yeah. So I'm sure it's probably up for a lot more now, or he runs auctions, so it's probably going to sell. But yeah, the Real Life killed it. He's in the 10% range. There.
Oh, man, I was okay. Well, a good thing we're not keeping track of how far off I am, because that one was
that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. But I understand you're not a photo guy. You don't know much about photos. So
I knew it. I said that going in. So
yeah.
Anyway,
but that's why I put that one in there, because I wanted something a little more interesting. It's not a lot of people know about. There's a good book. There's a good biography on him. The Catcher Was a Spy, I think is the name of the book, which I've read. Pretty good book.
It's a cool backstory for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what we got for you. You'll recognize this, I think, right? I think you've sold about 1 million of these over your days.
I've sold some of them, not a ton, but yeah. So these are small plastic Dairy Queen. Yeah, I think like plastics figures or statues. Yeah, Bob Avila.
Yeah, they're small. Yeah, I mean, not a huge name for sure. There's some other ones we had that sell maybe, they're kind of a bit of a Rudy sell for a variety. I thought this, honestly, who I thought this looked like is maybe they used Yogi Berra as like the cast mold or something. Yeah, he's short and stubby looking for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes with these kind of pieces, even though there's bigger names in this set, right? It's not a big name.
You're trying to complete the set, right?
Yeah, that, and also some are just rare. Or back in the day, if you were like a 10-year-old kid and you get a Bob Avila and you're like a Yankees fan, you're like, trash. Yeah. So maybe they didn't survive as much as the big names.
Well, he's better known for later going on to do This Old House, if you're familiar with that. That's Bob Vila, but
yeah, that was pretty good delivery, because you had me going there. So you got 15, 29, 47, 34, 99. Mark has a Mickey Vernon of that. And then we got a 44.99 for Mark. You have Roman at 29.99. So yeah, these prices are, I'm in the ballpark of some of these in the high 20 range.
You're like struggling. Well, here's the thing. Here's the problem with that. You know what range you're in, but you have very little wiggle room to get it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. When you're guessing 400, you have a bigger window.
Well, clearly I didn't need that.
Yeah, you needed a much bigger window in your guess. All right, I'm going to go 27.49 as my guess.
27.49. Yeah. It's so random.
It is random.
All right. Well, let's see.
He'll go, 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 yo, go.
Well, as we all know, that is a loss.
Yeah. Been short in. Pretty close. I did loss. It was a loss.
I mean, it was, like I said, all things considered, it's hard. It's tough. These things are, I can't say that we had any huge bangers out of the kind of non-pennant side this week. So
it's all right. Doesn't have to keep bangers. Really? The $20 add up. I like $20 sales.
For sure. Yeah. And not to mention, we have a bunch of those things. Yeah, right. Exactly. It's like one of those little tiny envelopes. So
Yeah. You didn't ship it in an envelope, did you?
Yeah, with a wrapping around it. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Right there.
I'm gonna box that, man. It's gonna end up in pieces.
No, you're
Oh.
going to no. It's completely fine. It's tough.
Did you get feedback yet?
Yeah, it's great. Everybody loves it. I've sold a bunch of those like that.
All right.
But yeah, it is cool. I like those things. Those are clearly easy to ship without box.
Yeah, it's easy to ship, especially when you're just popping in a bag. Up it goes.
That's right.
In pieces.
Okay.
All right. Next up. So again, we're doing the giveaway on this next one. So I'm going to give away a choice. You get a choice of wax packs. You get a 89 Fleer wax pack, 92 Upper Deck wax pack, Wyvern. I don't know what Wyvern is, but a little cello pack, Creator's Universe. Oop, dropping stuff. Star Trek. And then Andy's favorite, Bozo the Clown foil pack.
Bozo, you know,
for the Slappy the Clown insert.
Slappy the Clown.
So you got a choice between that. You get a choice between a 1914 tobacco felt King Cole New York Yankees. These are basically baseball cards. These came in packs of tobacco, 1914. Or if you're a pennant guy, you get a pair of pennants. You get a Minnesota Twins 1960s dead stock pennant and USFL LA Express pennant. So
Very
pretty
cool.
good. Or if you're a reseller, you can sell all of that. All of it's a nice, easy resale.
Yeah.
Or if you're a collector, hang on to it. So you get your choice. So let me get to my screen share and we'll show you what I'm. This next one's interesting too, Andy, more because of some of the
All right, so it's gonna go up in price. We know that.
conversation that I had with this piece. It's okay.
Okay.
So first, it's a pennant. So that's helping you. It's a pennant. So this is a 1910 era Wellesley College football pennant. Nice, like great early football player graphic. Probably even a little pre-1910. It does have a fair amount of moth loss, or not moth loss, felt loss, moth damage maybe. But anyway, one thing interesting to this. Do you know anything about Wellesley College?
That's not Wesley. Okay. No, I don't know.
So
Wesleyan, but that's
there's several Wesleyans, but yeah, Wellesley is the interesting about Wellesley is a girls' school, women's school, right? So I had this listed. It's the Wellesley College colors. It's, and
Wait,
I listed
is this Harvard's kind of like
sister school? I think that's Radcliffe.
I thought that, okay. I thought Wesleyan was that too, maybe. Okay, never mind.
So I had this listed for a while. I've had this for a few years. I've had it up. And when I first listed it, I had a woman send me nasty messages on Etsy, right? Like, Wellesley's a girls' school. Don't you know that? Wellesley's a girls' school. I'm like, I know it's a girls' school. I don't know why they made this pennant. Maybe it's like to capitalize on the popularity of football in the Northeast or why they made it. So back and forth, like, she kept pestering me with messages. I'm like, just don't buy it. I mean, all right.
Yeah, she's just giving. Why would she do that?
Yeah, people are paying. But anyway, it was a little Karen move on that. But anyway, I found this image later. I found this.
Oh, there you go.
Wellesley College football team photo.
Take
with
that.
a melon ball. Yeah, I went back a year later, found that message, sent her this image. Never heard back. Never heard back from that lady.
Now, you're going to stalk her down.
Yeah. So again, I don't know who they played. If they played like local high schools, if they just played like other amateur clubs. I don't know what they were about, but pretty cool pennant.
It is. Yeah, definitely.
So we have some good guesses in the chat, or a lot of guesses in the chat. So we have Mr. Cub fan at 275, the Real Life Perspective Show at 5450.
Yeah, make sure you get in, guys, because this is the one for
this is for the giveaway. And you can go over here. As long as you're within 10 or not within 10%, closest person to the selling price wins. So we got just outside of Boston. There you go. 79 with Dan. 249 with Mark.
Okay.
BD 399. Harry 339.98. Oh, I know Hillary Clinton went there. That's cool. All right, Andy. So we have a range. You have a range from 54.50 to 2 or 399.
Yeah, this one's tough. I don't.
Ken's in at 49.99.
Here's the thing. You probably have a relatively small group maybe somebody's interested in early memorabilia, but yeah, I don't know that this is a huge crossover in terms of, a ton of people wanting it, but it's probably very rare. And there's a cool backstory behind it. Although I guess after you found out that backstory after you sold it, right? Or
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
Did
I
you
found that.
You put that information.
That was in the
afterwards?
list. That was in the listing. Yeah. I found it like maybe 6 months after I listed it, but it's been in there for a while.
Okay. I think I kind of am in the Mark Hoyle range. I think maybe slightly more.
It's a safe place to be, right? And given the Mark's success in this game,
he's kind of won everyone that we put up. But I'm going to go maybe slightly more. I'm going to go with $289.99.
$289.99. All right, let me see I got to do some calculations for the chat, but let me see how you did.
Wait, why do you have to do calculation? Oh, I see.
See who got closest. I'm not, I'm not a math genius over here.
No, you're not.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself.
There we go, baby. He's back. You love it. You love when I get it right.
Oh no, I'm glad because I'm happy we get to use that clip.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect to have to use it, to be honest. I thought I'd be making that wasting my time with that one.
You think I would go to woo-hoo-hoo! I was close.
Yeah.
I was thinking going $299 too.
So let me see. Let me do some calculations real quick, Andy. Phil, let me show the giveaway here, and you fill some dead air for me while I do some calculations.
I think your winner is gonna be. It might be Mark, actually.
Yeah,
he's within $50.
Mark and Harry, I think. I think.
Oh, you're right. All right. Yeah. No, you're right. It's maybe Harry.
339.98.
How big? You said it's oversized. Is it like
35, Mark? 36 inches?
Oh yeah. That's always a.
So anyway, we have $39.99 off for Harry. Just remember that number. Okay. So that would be Harry then, right? Because I think Mark is going to be like 51. But is that?
I think that's 275.
No, Mr. Cup fan. Mr. Cup fan.
275.
Yeah. So that's it. We're not. Yep. Yes, I think Mr. Cup fan has it, and he's won a giveaway before too. He's a strong in the guessing game as well.
I mean, not to toot my own horn, but nobody beat me this time. But
yeah, that's never happened before. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, we're struggling with the math over here.
Usually no, one of us is.
No, come on.
I just didn't see it. Yeah, I didn't see that, but
yeah, well, it was
well done.
First guess. Well done. Yeah, strong guess, man. Appreciate.
Yeah,
everyone guessing.
He picked it out of the box too. I mean,
it was right out of the gate.
He didn't have anything to go on.
So Mark, let me or not Mark, Mr. Cub fan. I think it's Josh, right? I know we've met each other at the Nationals.
Yeah,
so here we go.
Those are so all over the place sometimes. You never know.
Usually Andy's all the way off as well. So it happens, man. He's
the best of us.
So yeah, Josh, you choose any of those 3 lots there: the wax pack lot, the tobacco blanket, or the 2 pennant lot. Up to you. And I think I probably have your address.
Yeah,
you got it, man. You got the tobacco blanket.
Very cool. But when you say blanket, though, it is not something that you could
maybe like for a hamster. Very
cool.
All right, that's coming to you. Thank you. I'm gonna. I know I have your address, but if you want to shoot me an email too at vintagesportflips@yahoo, just to make sure. But I know I sent you a giveaway maybe a month ago, so I'm sure I have it. But all right, so that was a good batch of sales of the week there.
Yeah.
Let me get back to the draft board.
Okay, this is where it starts to get a little crazy.
Yeah, for sure. You're up again?
I am up again.
Try to keep track of that because I didn't do our regular draft board because it's hard to update 2 different things here during the live.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. So you're going to get the next 2 picks. I'm going to try to think what's going on here.
Did you see the Happy Gilmore reference there from the Real Life Perspective show?
Oh, yeah. Always a good one.
I think that was one of our clips earlier on in the podcast. We used
it was,
clip.
Yeah.
It
definitely was. Okay. I don't know. This is tough for me now. Okay.
It does get tricky here for sure. There's not like this draft. It's not like you have your top dogs where you have it all ranked. There's a lot of moving ways you can go, moving strategies in this draft.
Yeah. Okay. This may not be the favorite pick of this, but I do have maybe it's not favorite, but there's a reason I'm taking this person here. I think he's far and away the best at this position. And he's like almost another 5-tool player.
Thanks, 1 second. Thanks, Ken. I'll see you tomorrow, man. Appreciate the invite. Thanks for hopping in.
Yeah, thank you. And check out the replay to see who won. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I think after this player, it's a bit of a drop off. I think you alluded to maybe a player that you would take in this position later.
I know where you're going here. Yeah, you're right. This is a not a deep position. If I know where you're going.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go with the one and only Mike Schmidt. He's a 500 homer, one of the best defensive third basemen of all time. Maybe not super fast, but like basically had everything you wanted, and probably one of the best mustaches in baseball history, I would say. Don't you think he's up there?
Yeah, but that is not where I thought you were going, to be honest. You threw me for a loop. Your lead in there had me going in a different direction.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But Mike Schmidt was my favorite when I was very young. I mean, obviously being both of us growing up in Philadelphia. Mike Schmidt was God. Man, we
really like him, don't you? Calling him names.
Oh, man, really struggling to talk tonight. But yeah, Mike Schmidt. I mean, that was like every kid's favorite in Philadelphia growing up.
Yeah, I mean, he's a 12-time All-Star, 10 Gold Gloves, 3-time MVP. Like, come on, that's insane.
Yeah.
He didn't have the best average, but that's also, I feel like, that's
a position. That's the position. Yeah.
It's also that. I mean, there's so many eras too, where you have like the dead ball era where everybody didn't hit a lot of home runs, but they're all batting over 400 practically. And then you have like the juiced area when everybody was hitting, 60 home runs a season. So
hey, let me do something real quick here. Let me interject 1 second.
Okay. I don't know where this is going.
Anytime picker breaking news. We have a Roman breaking news.
Oh God, no.
Mike Schmidt was the Lions last season. They would have won the Super Bowl.
Oh.
So I made that little segment especially for Roman. I told Roman to come in and rip the Lions. I have a special segment for you.
You did. Oh no! So you're like you're tainting our followers here. This is horrible.
No. He was going to do it anyway.
It's true.
He was going to have some Dan Campbell.
Well, Mike. You should have said that Mike Schmidt. Well, Joe Schmidt is the.
Yeah, Joe Schmidt was a line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
And I also had to do my own voiceover work for that segment. I tried to get Mrs. Flips to do it. Wasn't really on board with helping me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. Again, like there are better players, right? I think over the course of he's not a top 10 player of all time. I wouldn't say. Maybe he could be top 20, but he's, I think, far and away the best third baseman. So anyway, it's all yours.
No, that's a strong pick. Yeah. I mean, that's one of those positions like second base earlier that not very deep. Deep. All right. So, so I go back to back, right?
Yeah. So you go back to back and then but you do two and then we'll do one. And then that's the end of that. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. You got it.
Okay.
Whew, it's a little tricky.
Are you out of breath there?
Yeah. Where am I going to go? All right.
Give me 1 second. Let me grab a drink. I got to grab.
Okay. It's just tough because, I mean, you didn't have to go very far. I had to fill some air for a few minutes.
No, it's getting a little parched there. Sorry.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go to another. This position's not that shallow, but one of the best players of all time, a player whose career was cut short by a few years due to World War II. Greatest hitter of all time, arguably, right? I mean, average. I don't think he had the average that Hornsby had, but pretty darn close. 344 average, 521 home runs. I'm going to go with the splendid splinter, Ted Williams, left field.
Yep.
Again, deeper position, but it definitely still a drop off, and you're going to Ted Williams to anyone below Ted Williams. So,
yeah. I will say, I think it's probably the most shallow outfield position. I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think
I agree. Yeah.
The
top two are after that there's a big drop off, but I think the top two, but it's one and then a distant two, I feel.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I know that, Mark.
I guess depending on how you look at it, maybe. But yeah.
Yeah.
Teddy. I mean, he was the last player I think that hit 400, right? Or maybe it was Olerud was close, wasn't he? There were a couple of people that were close.
I don't think anyone got there. I mean,
everybody was
close, and
everybody was Colorado. I know, yeah, they're all flirting with it.
Yeah, maybe Mark probably knows better than us.
Yeah, Mark will know.
All right, and the next
good pick.
Good
pick.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're very welcome.
The next one, a little tricky here. A little trickier. All right. I'm going back. Tobacco era. This is another not deep position. There's a player that arguably has better stats, but he's a tainted player.
I know where you're going. Yeah,
I
knew this is going to happen too, because he's picking all old guys, so it's fine. And basically you're leaving me with all the steroid guys.
Yeah. I'm going to go with, people know this name, but they know this name more from like baseball cards.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They know the famous T206 card of this player, but they don't really know he was a great player, right? Probably the best shortstop of all time. I'm going Honus Wagner, Pittsburgh Pirate. I would say probably a 5-tool player. Nobody was really hitting for power at that time period, but 328 lifetime average, led the league in steals 5 times. I mean, and he was a leader too, right? Stuff
I was reading on him, because he was, I think, kind of widely considered the best, but they were saying that if he didn't play in the dead ball era, he probably would have had, comparable home run numbers to some of the bigger guys too. So, because apparently he was very fast and very strong too. So it wasn't like he was, what you're typically seeing sometimes in the shortstop.
Yeah, absolutely. What's up, Sir Jameson? Thanks. I don't recognize that name in the chat. Well, I think I actually have seen it before from the goat emoji, right, Andy? But thank you for that. And yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, BNY. I know we talked on Instagram, so thank you for hopping in. Appreciate that.
Very cool. Welcome. All right. Okay, so I'm going one more here then, right?
Yes.
That pop finishes you off. Can you pull up my screen? I want to see where we're at on this.
Yeah, let me get to this. Let me share my screen. I was trying to type it in as we were doing it.
I think I know where I'm going. I think what you're going to end up seeing too is, we're going to kind of be poaching each other's stuff until, You also missed one position, my friend.
Did I? What did I do? Let me see. Oh, I didn't. When I entered it. Okay. I had it there. Yeah. Good catch. I did have it there, but I think when I put the titles in,
Okay.
I guess we know where Andy's going.
Whoops. Okay, I gave it away there.
That's right.
So, okay. Rationale on this one, obviously, I think is pretty clear. There's 2 positions left that neither one that we have the first pick at. Essentially, right? Well, there's bench too, I guess, but that I think you can pick anybody there. So, which would be starting pitcher and catcher. Catcher again is not nearly as deep as starting pitcher. Like there's probably 3 or 4 starting pitchers. I know who I want at starting pitcher, but you may pick somebody very completely different too. So
yeah, the starting pitcher rankings are all over the place. There's a consensus number 1, but that doesn't mean we might take him.
But that's even like, I don't know. I've seen it a couple different ways, but anyway, there's really only, I think, at least as far as I'm concerned, there's only one consensus number 1 catcher, I would say. and that is Johnny Bench. Sorry, I was
started to take that before you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, so he's his numbers were just, very extremely good. Let me pull them up. I have it right here. Gotta find where it was.
Try to see if I can zoom in on the screen a little bit.
Again, like these are different age. It's a different position. So I mean, he's 267 batting average. He had 389 home runs, which is quite a bit. I would say 1,300 RBIs. He had 10 Gold Gloves and a 14-time All-Star. So he was not only one of the best hitters at his position, he was also one of the best fielders. After that, maybe I was wrong. I think the only other, I think I do know where you're going now, that with your Negro League.
I will, Mark. I will say, Mark, I told Andy there's a position in this draft that I likely will take a Negro League player, even though we put in the draft or the thumbnail MLB history. So I'm not going to say who you said there, because I don't think Andy will take that as a bench player, but
yeah, no.
Yeah, good question. Without looking, do you guys know who has the most all-time Gold Gloves? Speaking of starting pitchers,
I bet, is it like Maddox?
I was going to say Maddox, but I mean, I don't think, was he known as a great defensive pitcher? Maybe he was.
I think he was known as that.
Was he? I don't.
Jim Cat. Okay. Oh, I don't know if that's right yet, but good question.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I have no idea, to be honest.
Jim Cat, was that Jim Cat or was that Maddox? I'm not sure who we were guessing at, but
yeah, SP is starting pitcher. Yep.
Maddox. Okay. That would have. I always, for some reason, remember him getting a lot of them or something for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he was definitely not exactly like the best athlete, but always pretty insane. Cool. All right.
So we have another segment here, Andy. So guys, we have a new segment this week. Let me get to that here, and I'll explain what this is all about.
The true King of Pennants will be crowned.
For the king!
All right, so new segment.
It's way too much fun making those.
Oh yeah. I said this before, but I text Andy. I'm like, Andy, send me a voice recording on StreamYard of saying the new King of Pennants will be crowned. It's like, he doesn't know what the hell I'm doing, but he's like, all right, I'll do it. Goes on there and I make them up, make these videos.
Yeah, half the time it's used against me in some form or fashion.
Yeah, some embarrassing fashion. So let me grab something here. But so this segment, what we're going to do is we're going to the premise was we each went to our pennant death pile, pulled out a pennant without researching it, without comping it, just by feel, by instinct.
By feel, yeah.
Not by
smell.
Time, but yeah, by instinct, what pennant could sell the best and could sell by next episode.
Yeah.
Right. And the goal is, if one of us sells our pennant by next week, or both of us, who sells it for more is going to be the winner. And you're the king of pennants for the week, Andy.
Okay.
Since I gave Andy that name. I mean, he knows it's a borrowed moniker.
We probably should invest in the crown then.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true.
You
we might
have
get two, so we're not mailing it back and forth. It's a lot of shipping costs.
Yeah, that's true.
Except you might just throw in a bubble mailer.
That's
All
right.
right.
Certainly will.
All right. So in my pennant that I chose, and I will say it's not as good as I thought it was when I started to research when I got home, but it's a minor league baseball pennant. I went with a Buffalo Bison's cool pennant with the nice, like, I don't know, what do you call that? Snuffing out smoke or whatever he's doing there. I don't know.
Snorting.
Snorting's better. I mean, minor league baseball stuff can sell very well, and Buffalo stuff always sells well. So that's why I pulled this one out of the stack I was looking at. I'll wait to say what I have it. We didn't list either of these yet. We're going to list it tonight after the show. So,
yeah. So I will say, BD, I think, I think we're going to value it, whatever we find we're not going to undervalue it.
Yeah. We're not going to turn away money for to win this crown.
I don't care about the crown. I can assure you.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So along the similar lines, I would say, not exactly, but we're both doing the sports theme stuff. So I went with something. My pennant that I went with this time probably like location wise, maybe doesn't sell as well, but I feel like everything else is working in its favor. And that is, can you see that? It's not.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I see. I don't see the other side though. Is it a shark? What is that on the side?
Yeah. It's a barracuda. Why is that? I don't know what's going on.
Well, you got to maybe put it in front of your chest. Hold it like this. Hold it like this in front of you. Maybe that'll work. There, it's a little bit better. All right.
It's called the Birmingham Barracudas.
Okay.
It's the inaugural
1995
season.
Okay.
It's a CFL team. So it's kind of an interesting thing. So it's, I guess, the CFL attempted to expand in the US.
Yeah.
And took a few teams. So there were a few teams. So not only was it the inaugural season, it was the only season for the the Birmingham Barracudas. Do you know a guy? I don't know why this guy's name sounds familiar to me, and maybe it's not anything, but a guy named Jack Pardee. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, Houston Oilers. I think he's connected to the Houston Oilers for some reason.
Yeah. So he was a head coach for this team for a while. It's just like kind of an interesting story. Eventually I think the CFL decided not to kind of go with that. They didn't want to expand that much, so they ended up like kind of pulling it. So I think the owner like wanted to change a lot of the rules of the CFL too, because he thought like the field was too big and things like that. So
we already got it. Yeah, we already got a potential lead in the chat. I mean, we'll say we're going to list these out in a second. Okay. And in real life, we're going to judge it based on if these sell and how much they sell for by next week. Yeah. And as we were talking prior to coming on live in our what do we call that?
Pre-meeting or
production
production meeting. Yeah.
That he couldn't, when he was trying to comp it out, he couldn't find it, which is always a bit of a scary thing for me in this competition, right? Like if you can't find it, you gotta aim high, I think.
Yeah. So the other thing is too, there are Birmingham Barracudas things on WorthPoint. So there are like hats and there's a couple other things, and they are actually selling for quite a bit. There were like the hat and a couple other things were selling for near $100. So
yeah, I've sold some Baltimore Colts stuff from the CFL hat. I had a bunch of hats.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what, I mean, if you want to go on pricing first or I can, but
I'll say it first. You can, I don't know, because you didn't have one yet, right? But I was going to put this up.
Talk through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter what we say here, right? It's if we take an offer or something. I'm sure we're going to do best offer, but I was going to put it for $49.99 plus shipping. So $49.99 plus like $6 for shipping.
So having sold similar stuff to that, I think it's probably, I was thinking I'd probably go $74.99, maybe even more. I don't know. What do you think?
I think I would go higher. I mean, if you can't find one, if a hat sold for $100, there's no comps. I think I go $149.99.
You just want to sell yours so you can win. But
no, I'm just being an honest impression.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
I have the Buffalo, or not a Buffalo. I had one CFL pennant up before. It didn't sell that well. That's the only thing I was thinking.
But did it have comps? Maybe some are more common than others.
Yeah. Anyway.
What I would do, Andy, and try to see if you can find the Baltimore Colts CFL pennant.
Yeah.
Or other teams that were short-lived.
Yeah, that's true.
We could sell for $79. I just think you might be leaving money on the table.
Yeah. So we'll see. His stuff, I like your pennant. Kind of like mine. It's have a cool graphic. The only thing, it's 1995 is maybe not the best, era for those types of pennants, but kind of the older ones sometimes are. But
yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, if it's a 1 year, I have a pennant in tomorrow's show with Ken that's like, it's a minor league baseball pennant. Could not find another example. It's like late 70s. That one's a little trickier. Like where I might even go a little higher than I was thinking. But cool. With this one, you're limited by the era, I think.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going with. We'll see.
All right.
I think you have a much better chance to sell it, and I think I have a higher ceiling on mine.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that might be a little more long tail. So that's one of the things we talked about. Do you want to get the guaranteed sale? Maybe not guaranteed, but do you want a better chance of selling or better chance of selling for more money? So there's a lot that went into this. I think it was a pretty cool competition.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right.
All right.
Back to the draft board.
Back at it. I think, is it you? Let me see. We have to see. Yes, I think I went. No, it's me again because I just went.
No, I think you took. Oh, yeah. Johnny Bench. Yeah.
So, oh, wait. Is that? So I do. Yeah. Okay. Let me just make sure. Does that work out? It's you. We got to make sure it's my turn again?
Well, let's just take it through the whole draft. So it went Babe Ruth. Then I went Garrick Hornsby. Then you went Mays. Did you guys Mays Schmidt?
I did.
And then I went Ted Williams Hornsby, and then Bench.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's right. That's right.
Okay. All right. So I'm up again. Okay. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
All right. So there's only one more position to really kind of get the best.
Well, you only took one player last round, right? You didn't go back to back.
No, because we went. Yeah.
Yeah. Went 1, 2, 1.
Right. Okay. I mean, you could start poaching like a bench player from me, but I feel like I'm still okay with that. I don't think you'd pick probably the guys that I might pick there anyway. Like, I don't think there's be a reason for it. The starting pitcher is tough.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's just it's almost a flavor of what you like. I think there's widely considered two players for me that are up there. I prefer one over the other. And I'm going to go with Walter Johnson. So he's my top. There's one guy that's kind of 1B, but 400 wins, 2.17 ERA, 117 WAR. So, yeah.
And even more, I don't know if you said it, but 110 shutouts. I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing.
They just would pitch, so many innings. It's insane.
Oh yeah. But just the fact that there were that many shutouts. I mean, that's unbelievable. That record never will be broken.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would have went Walter Johnson number one. I mean, that's the other after Walter Johnson. There's like a bunch of guys who are like sort of in the same grouping. I feel.
Yeah.
I don't feel like my pick is going to be where you would have had number two, to be honest.
Maybe not. I don't know.
All right.
So I mean, you're basically freed up to go. Yeah, I agree with you, Mr. Coast fan. Yeah, I mean, it's just the game has changed so much these days. That being said, Walter Johnson playing in today's league would be nothing. If you had any baseball player with a repertoire that they have for throwing pitches and put him back in those days, they'd kill. I mean, they didn't have sliders until like the 20s or something, or even so. Yeah, there's
after Ruth. I don't think Ruth ever hit a slider or sinker or whatever. So but for sure. And on that note, I'm going back again. I'm going back to the tobacco blanket era again. My next pick. I'm going center field. There's two players that are close in the second, third kind of ranking, in my opinion. But I'm going Ty Cobb. Yeah. I mean, you had obviously a great hitter. I mean, the hit career king for a long time, for years. 366 lifetime average, which is crazy. I mean, I don't think there's anyone with that average, right? Hornsby was 358, 897 steals. I mean, obviously not a power hitter. That wasn't part of his game, and that wasn't a part of anyone's real game at that point.
Yep.
That's insane. Yeah. So I had to go with Ty Cobb. I mean, there's another player beyond him that I think is more pop, but not the all around player that Cobb was.
Yeah, I mean, he had 400 twice in this in one season, not in one season, but like in multiple seasons. So yeah, it's a good pick. I love. I mean, it's Detroit Tigers, so you gotta love that. He's got a little grit. He brings a little grit to your team too. I will say, not the most loved player for sure, but
for sure. Maybe not like a huge leader. I mean, his team's won. They won with the Athletics, but yeah, definitely he had some issues with teammates for sure, and other people. So interesting life.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
pick. Yeah. I mean, I think those. Obviously, I know who you're talking about, and maybe he's a good bench player. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, he could be. And then I'm sticking with outfield again, and I'm going to a position that's deeper, but after the top two, it's not as deep. I mean, obviously you had Ruth number 1, but I'm going to go Hank Aaron number 2.
Yeah,
Hank Aaron. I mean, home run career champ for a long time before the steroid era, and I mean, not the average hitter that some of these guys were taking, but 305 lifetime average. That's strong. It's a great average too.
Talk about longevity, right?
Oh yeah. Him and Mays. I mean, obviously Aaron longer, but they both had super long careers.
Yeah. I think he's an RBI. He's an all-time RBI leader too. 24 All-Star. Oh, was it? Yeah, 24 All-Star games and Gold Glove winner. I guess he's just won. Maybe hasn't only won that once, but it's funny to see, like, just to see what this guy was, like what he looked like compared to somebody that with the other guys that were hitting 700 or 600 home runs or anything like that. Like he was not overly a physically imposing person at all.
No.
Compared to like Babe Ruth or any of those guys. So, but
Willie Mays Hayes not gonna make the list. Not gonna make the list. We might do our baseball movies at some point. That movie might get into the list for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Okay.
It's
also interesting when he was going for that record, the hate mail that he got. I mean, there was a lot of going in like that, what he dealt with later in his career, right? Like imagine a lot of, that was a tough time for, or anywhere.
Yeah, for sure. And he's got that, there are a couple of famous things that you see, sort of scenes that you see in baseball, and that when he hit that one and kind of shaking that guy's hand going around third base.
Yeah, people. Yeah,
kind of iconic.
For sure.
All right, this is. Can you put the screen up? I got to say, gotta make sure I don't pick somebody wrong here. I'm trying to think who's next. Who's like the guy I want next?
Yeah. Your infield's looking a little sparse there.
So far, a little rough so far. I got my outfield covered.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go with somebody, but I got to know your take on this.
Position wise.
So, where do you put Stan Musial?
Left field.
Okay, because he's listed as a first baseman in some as well.
I mean, I think his prime was left field. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then I will not take him.
You don't have a left fielder either.
You sure? Oh yeah. No, I have other. Well, I had other people set up for that, but left. I don't know. This may not. This name may not earn me any favor for the next couple picks, but I'm going to go with Alex Rodriguez at shortstop. So I kind of threw you for a little bit of a loop there.
No, I mean his numbers. You can't complain about that, right? And that's
yeah. I mean he's it's tough to argue with a nearly 300 batting average, almost 700 home runs. He's a very, I think, undervalued fielder. He's probably better fielder than Jeter was at shortstop. 3-time MVP. Obviously, he's slightly tainted by, well, not slightly, but probably heavily tainted by the steroid era. But I don't think we're really factoring that in. So at least I'm not.
I think he's a little bit more. I think he's more likable than McGuire, Palmeiro. I mean, a guy, he was at least in the public eye as a commentator, right? As like an announcer for, I don't know if
he's redeemed himself a little bit, I think. Yeah. I don't think he's a great guy, to be totally honest either. There's a lot of stories about him as well, but yeah.
Yeah, but he was someone, at least like McGuire, sort of, at least in my opinion, sort of vanished from public eye.
Yeah.
And the other, but he was still in the public eye after his career.
Definitely. But all right, there you go.
There you go. Mark broke it down with Musial. 1,100 games at first, 1,800 in the outfield.
Okay.
So it's close. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I get
Either
it.
way. Either way.
Okay.
Probably
Probably widely. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of thought of him as an outfielder too, but I saw him listed a lot as first baseman. So, but
yeah.
All right. Do we
All
have
right,
something else? Or are we going on? Yeah, we're going to the.
We'll go to the segment, right? Because we each did 2 picks, right? Yeah, you
Yeah,
took bench. Yeah. All right. Let me get to the segment section here. All right, Andy. So this is going to be this segment. We talk about a piece of memorabilia, delve into the history of it, maybe value of it. This is going to be a short one, more of a bolo video, right, than a total deep dive. But these little guys, these are 1960s Scott products, cast iron bottle openers. So Andy's a beer drinker, a little bottle opener. So Eagles used this helmet up until 1968. Then they went to the white helmet to give you an idea of age of these. And then we also have one for Roman over here. Get a little Cleveland Brown one there too.
I heard that sells for like a third of the cost though, right? Is that
not Brown stuff sells well. Brown stuff sells well. So
it also only opens crappy beer, right? You can't open like higher end beer.
That I don't know. But let me show you a couple of things. So they made them in NFL helmets, late 60s, sell pretty well. I mean, I would say they sell in the $50 to $100 range, but they also did make them in baseball ones. Here's a baseball one. It's like just a baseball hat. These are rare, but don't command as much. These bring, I would say $40 to $60 maybe for the baseball ones. But these are the cooler ones by the same company. And from the late 1960s, you have the hockey ice skate one. Yeah. These bring bigger money. These bring like, I would say $50 to $100 up to like $250, $300 for some teams. We had some of these in the warehouse, in the garage by Andy. I don't know exactly where they're at, but we definitely had some of them. So
interesting.
Something definitely to be on the lookout for. If you see these, they're heavy. They have some, weight to them because they're all metal bottle openers. Usually they have Scott products on the bottom, but sell pretty well. So if you see them out at flea markets, yard sales,
probably
worth to
guess that's how much you probably get them for a few bucks, right? They don't.
I mean, I don't think that. Yeah, you don't generally bring a ton of money if you find them out and about, out in the wild. Yeah. So,
cool.
Yeah, that was a short little deep dive there. And you can pull up the draft board again.
Can you call it a deep dive then? I'm not sure if it was really. It was kind of a little
pretty deep.
Cursory dive.
Shallow dive.
Shallow dive. Yeah. You should not be diving headfirst into that one because you will break your neck. I can tell you.
Yeah. I think it was informative, deep with information.
Yeah. All right. Where are you going? You got 2 in a row, so be ready.
I don't think it's me. I think it's you. You have 1, then it's me. Because you just took A-Rod.
I'm like, okay. I'm so confused by this. Why? I don't know why.
I think each time you're ending it and starting it. Okay. I'm in the middle.
All right. Wow. All right. Honestly, I think there's not a ton of players that I love remaining. It's funny to say this when you're talking about like the best players that ever played the game, but
yeah.
So I think I'm gonna pick my bench player right now while I have the chance to.
I don't like that.
I don't think you probably would have taken him anyway. Maybe you would have. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Mickey Mantle. I think, I got to go back to my original homer picks. So, that guy, obviously his stats are incredible. He's just kind of known as I think when people think of baseball players, Mickey Mantle is top on the list at over 500 home runs. So, I mean, I'm going to take him and then sort of, I think he's the best and also best known player that I can have. And can fill in at multiple positions in the outfield, I'd say.
Yeah, no, yeah, you can't complain about Mickey Mantle as your little pop coming off the bench, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to do that, I'm going to do that.
Okay. You're
Out
gonna
of position,
swipe.
yeah, out of
You're
position, you still
swipe.
need,
Okay.
not because of what Mr. Cubs fan said, but
Yeah.
because I was already leaning that direction.
Yep.
Go with
I got
first
you.
baseman Albert Pujols. I mean,
Yep.
700 home runs, right? I mean, and one of the better hitters of all time. Not the best. I mean, he didn't have over 300 career average, but a long career. I think he would have had a over 300 average and well over 300 average if he tailed off at the end of his career, right? It wasn't. I don't know what his average was the last couple of years, but I know there was a stretch there. He was 330 hitter for many years.
He played for just an ungodly many years.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a good pick. I mean, probably would have been the guy that I would have picked there. So it's not a bad use of, I guess I didn't swipe anybody from you necessarily, right?
Well, no, I would have taken Mantle as a bench player too. I mean, that's a good bench player pick.
But you you wouldn't have picked him as a fielder. So you necessarily, you know what I mean? Yeah,
I get you. Yeah. You're right. For sure. I could have, I didn't need him in the position.
Right.
All right. Where do I go now? So I need catcher, third base, starting pitcher. You've already taken your bench player. So now you're not going to, I really can do whatever I want now, right? Because you're not going to take a pitcher. You can't take a pitcher, catcher, or third baseman.
Right.
So, all right. I'm going to go. And it's hard to say how great this player would have been because he never had the ability to play with in the Major League Baseball. But arguably, probably was the best catcher of all time. I'm going to go Josh Gibson. 350 lifetime hitter. That, no catchers really have over 300 lifetime batting average. I mean, there's a couple guys that are close and for short careers, but
sure,
most catchers are going to be 260, 275, and you're a great catcher if you're hitting that. And from a WAR perspective, he was pretty close to Johnny Bench. I think they were like 75 and 72 on the WAR ranking, so pretty close. Again, how he would have done as a major leaguer, hard to say.
Yeah,
but
that's a tough one because you don't know. It's a little bit tough to say, what he would have been. But yeah. I mean, he was. I obviously saw and see who he was and stuff, but I guess I did err towards the major leagues versus MLB versus other players. So, but yeah, in terms of talent wise, maybe he was as good or better, but yeah,
it's a shallow position, right? I mean, I'm taking him over guys like Gary Carter. I mean, Ivan Rodriguez. They have their limits. I feel like there weren't I wouldn't say any of them or either of those or other catchers on the list were like the best player on their team in those eras, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Johnny Bench probably could say that, but not the other guys. So,
all right,
yeah, Yogi's on the list too, for sure. Yeah,
definitely.
But not the best player on his team for sure. He was like on packed teams though.
All right, pull me up again. I need to see where I'm looking at.
Gotcha.
I'm afraid I'm afraid I'm not gonna get a lot of love because I feel like I'm gonna be having some controversial players on my squad. I mean, if we're looking at stat wise, I think there's only one person I can take in left field, and that's Barry Bonds. Regardless of what you think about him, he was an incredible hitter. When he was younger, he was an incredible base stealer. I think he was a 40-40 guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was a decent fielder. I don't know if he was the best, actually. I'm trying to remember. He was good, certainly. But yeah, I mean, I was hoping that I wouldn't have to dig into these guys because I feel like he's going to alienate some of these people.
You're taking roid squad over there for sure.
I am, but I'm taking them at their prime. Arguably,
you can't take Brady Anderson as your bench player, but maybe you'll get him on the 89 Fleer pack poll.
That's true.
Is he in that? He's probably in that set.
298 average, 762 star home runs, 1,996 RBIs, all-time leader in walks and intentional walks, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Interesting. So, that is interesting. Yeah. Not that surprising with the intentional walks, right? Because they were always walking him at the end of his career, or when he was gone for home run streaks. But yeah, that's a good pick. I mean, I would have taken Musial over him, but
yeah, I get it.
But the stat wise, though, obviously you can't complain with the stats. For some reason, I didn't even put Bonds on my list.
Yeah,
not that. But yeah, that's you get a lot of pop in your outfield there. Ruth and Barry Bonds.
Got a lot of juice when Mays too. Yeah, Mays is up there, but yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I think that was one of the things I was slightly worried about, and I figured you still wouldn't take them, but
yeah,
did what I have to do.
All right, let me get to another segment. That was a quick drafting round there. Let me get to the segment section here.
Find of the week.
And let me stop sharing the draft board. So I got a couple quick finds here. And Andy doesn't really pick. He's death pile picking, but I don't think you don't have any finds of the week, right?
I don't. No, not right now. Okay. Aside from my little pen that
that was a good one. So I bought this stack of Eagles programs. These are 50s, 60s, but there's one I'll show particularly at the end. Eagles Giants. I love this one. Eagles Cowboys with the little what's going on there? Scratched Eagles into his back end there. We got the Giants again. There's a couple Browns at the end here.
Oh, geez.
I'm sure that one's Roman. But the reason I bought this group was for this program. And you know what this program is? This game is November 20th, 1960.
I don't know. No.
Okay. I'll show you something. Let me show you an image.
It says Chuck Bednarik or something?
Chuck Bednarik.
Nailed it.
Here we go.
Oh,
it's one of the most visage hits in NFL history. Here's the image you're more used to seeing. We have Chuck Bednarik standing over Frank Gifford, who's unconscious, was taken to the hospital with severe concussion, retired from football for a couple years, and then did come back later. But that was a game that sealed or clinched or had played a part in clinching the division for the Eagles. They would go on and win the NFL championship in 1960. So pivotal game. This was in a lot. I don't think the person realized that that's as significant as it was in that program. Not that it's not a super rare program, but still I think this program is worth what I paid for the lot, and I got all the other programs with it.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a program with a story behind it.
Yeah, for sure. And Mark, I can't make a cowboy item a find of the week. Yeah, that wasn't my video though. You must have seen that. Yeah. And then the other thing, Andy, this is more up your alley. Let me show you these two guys.
I don't know. I don't like where this is going.
No, it's not bad. It's not a bad thing. Because you like your beverages, I will say, right? You're a fan of beverages. So you get a pair. I mean, these are turn of the century Metlack Company Steins.
Nice.
This one's a Yale University. These are probably 1900, raised relief and nice. I don't know if that's a whatever what kind of metal that lid is, but that one, this one's
probably lead.
maybe lead. This is the better one though. So this one, same company, early markings on the bottom.
Yeah,
this is
cool.
An early American football scene. I think this one's from 1897.
Yeah.
I bought a pair of these at an auction. And let me show you what one of these, or some of these sell for. A little worth point action here. So these bring pretty good money. Yeah. There's one listed on eBay now for $1,049. I think realistically, though, they're probably in the $600 range, maybe $700 range. So I'm only showing the one. I have a pair of them, but definitely a nice little score. They weren't cheap. I think I paid like $150 each, but there's definitely a nice little.
Had you seen them, but you had an idea that they were good though already?
Yeah.
You know what to look for them?
Yeah, I had researched them before I bought them. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
cool. Yeah.
Another one, I don't know what the L one's worth, but still I would say probably a couple $100. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Back at it.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty cool. Okay. Well,
let me share the screen again because I know you always need the screen help there.
I know I do. It helps. We're getting down to like the nitty gritty here a little bit.
Yeah. And what we'll do, Andy, we'll do the 2 picks. We'll do the second sales of the week quickly, and then we'll do the our pack pull, and then we'll wrap it up.
Sounds good. Okay. All right.
Rook Vaughn. Great character.
Okay. Well, you kind of swipe probably the next guy I would have taken with Albert Pujols. I did have a backup just in case. I don't even know why. I probably even shouldn't have put him as a backup, honestly, because his numbers are ridiculous. And this fits into your narrative a little bit. And he played for the Phillies, so you probably should like him in all forms and fashions. And that's Jimmy Fox. So
I don't think Fox played for the Athletics.
Well, he played in 1945. He played for the Phillies.
Let me see. I mean, he's known for athletics. He played for the Red Sox.
Yep.
All right, yeah, one season. All right. I wrong.
But yeah, I mean, 20-year career.
Yeah.
I mean, his numbers are. I mean, they're not Pujols numbers, but they're pretty damn close. I mean, 534 home runs, 325 batting average, 1,900 RBIs. Like that's as good as it gets, honestly.
Yeah, that's not a bad.
It's not a drop off.
And if he's the player, Andy, that I believe Tom Hanks was patterned after in A League of Their Own, or he was a coach. He coached in that league. So I think that's the who you're thinking of, not Rogers Hornsby.
Gotcha.
All right, yeah, nice pick there. All right, and I know I had Mark in the chat earlier pushing me for a pick at third base.
Not going to go there?
I don't think I'm going to go there. There's a lot of players left over at third base that you could go with, right? I mean, there's Eddie Matthews, Brooks Robinson, Wade Boggs. I'm going to go with a guy that.
See, I thought your Negro League player was going to be Eddie Matthews. That's what I was thinking, but because wasn't he Negro League for a little bit?
No.
Why was I thinking that?
I don't know. I was wondering what you were talking about earlier.
Oh, maybe I don't know why I was thinking that. Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know where you were going with that one. But yeah, Mark got it. George Brett. I was going to say the person that Andy chose a fake tirade for earlier in this podcast.
Fake tirade.
Calling that pine tar incident a tirade.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always thought, like, growing up, he was always known as like a hit for average guy. I mean, he was a good hitter. He's just a good hitter in general. But yeah, I think there is a drop off. I think from Schmidt to Brett for any of those guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can. The rest of those guys are pretty good. But yeah, Brett, 300 plus home runs, over 300 batting average.
Yeah,
was not a good fielder though. Was not a good fielder as I remember.
Yeah, not like the other guy like Robinson or Eddie Matthews or Schmidt.
Yeah.
Are definitely better in that position. And his WAR was a little lower than like Wade Boggs. I think Wade Boggs is a little bit of a higher WAR. But again, you got the average, you got like a gritty guy. A guy could drink by a case of beer on the plane ride home. Right? Was that Brett? Yeah.
I think that was him, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I like that. All those guys are pretty similar though. I don't think that you can go wrong with Brooks or Eddie Matthews or Brett or Boggs.
Yeah. No, definitely. All right.
And then for my next one, I'm going to have to fill out my starting pitcher position. Again, similar to the third base, there's a lot of guys that were like close to each other, right? I'll list some of those off, but who I'm not picking first. All right. I mean, you had
Okay.
you had Randy Johnson in there that people rank high up in this list as like a great all-time pitcher. Nolan Ryan, Tom Seaver were great pitchers. But I'm going to go with a guy because my team's a winning squad, right? I'm going to be in the world.
No,
this team, they're going to be in big games. I need a big pitcher.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Bob Gibson.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere different. Okay.
Yeah, an intimidating pitcher.
When you were saying you were going for a winner, I would have thought you were going to go for the all-time winner.
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, I'm going with a guy that in the World Series, 7-2, 1.89 ERA, 8 complete games, 2 shutouts in the World Series.
Yeah, absolute stud. Absolute
yeah,
stud.
so that's what I meant by winner. But and Pedro Martinez, Mark's right. He was up on the list as like top pitchers all time.
I thought for sure you would have gone Cy Young.
He had longevity and win totals, but I don't think his numbers were as good as some of the other guys in like ERA wise. I got to look it up.
Let's see. He had a 2.63 ERA, 511 wins.
Yeah, that's it's lower than Bob Gibson, but 2.9.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was interesting too to see Randy Johnson. I didn't even think about. I mean, like I wouldn't have thought that he was one of the best pitchers of all time. But I mean,
absolutely.
And the difference is, I think, is you look at his strikeouts, like his strikeouts per inning. It's like 10. Where all of these older guys are like sub 5. Like they're four strikeouts per game or something. It's a different game, obviously, but I'm not like the real life said. I mean, Nolan Ryan definitely is going to be mentioned with and Cy Young too. You could look at competition. Some of the Cy Young pitched in the 19th century for several years, right? He wasn't like he pitched well before Cobb, and I mean he went on to pitch to those guys as well, but different game in the 19th century and similar with Walter Johnson, but Walter Johnson was, much more dominant, I think. And I mean, there's other guys, Christy Mathewson, Sandy Koufax. Yep.
But I like the intimidation factor of Bob Gibson. Like, just a nasty pitcher who's going to come in, throw the heat inside on Jimmy Fox for Andy's squad, or
bring it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's funny.
That's what I said. I might get a little detraction in the vote for that pick, but
no, that's good. But yeah,
they're all similar. I think all those guys are bunched up pretty similar in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh boy. All right. So this is my last pick, right? That was your last pick?
Yeah, I'll show you the board.
Oh boy. Okay, so I have second baseman. I know. This is kind of like this is a little not dreading this, but I think there is a drop off, obviously, between what you have in Rogers Hornsby and then other players. It's really between two people. I think I'm assuming you probably know who I'm thinking of, but
I don't know the third guy. I know the second guy. I would think I know one of them. I would assume.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think here. I'm just going to go with, I think, my gut on this one, and that's Joe Morgan. His numbers were not Rogers Hornsby, but he was an incredible player, back-to-back MVP. He had a 279 average, 268 home runs, over 1,100 RBIs. That's my guy. I think there's others that I think were in there for me too.
Who's the other guy you were debating between?
Jackie Robinson.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what I would have taken there, but they're very close to each other. Yeah. I was just going to see if that was the number 2 that you had.
Yeah. I mean, there's guys on my list that I wasn't sure, like Nap LaJoy. I'm sure you know him, but I just like, I don't know him, so I just think that's what I got to go with.
I had the honor of handling once a Nap LaJoy two-handled bat. He would use a bat that had two, a regular handle knob on the end and then a second knob, and those bats are like exceedingly scarce. I sold one at the National one time.
Nice.
But yeah, Yeah, you can't. Jackie Robinson, I think, is similar to Josh Gibson as to, obviously he lost some of his career not in the majors in the Negro Leagues prior to 1948. So how he would have done with a longer career, but
there's cultural significance too. I as well. So
yeah, absolutely. And doing some of the things he did. I mean, he had a 313 average, 200 stolen bases at a time when he was getting a ton of hate, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Oh, come on, Altuve. But I think I like the trash can next to it. If that means something.
No, that's what he's beating on. He's beating on the drum,
Oh, yeah, that's right. I think he was just calling him trash.
It could be that too.
But yeah, right. That's a strong squad, and then we'll see where we'll see who Andy gets over here, like Mickey Tettleton. Who's gonna get?
Oh, I like Mickey. He's a switch hitter, baby. All right. Last pick here, or last
or last segment, right?
Yeah.
Sale of the week.
All right, so one more sale of the week segment. We'll try to make this one a quick one. Let's see.
I can go first if you want, or do you want to go?
I got it.
You ready to go?
I got it. So this is a Bazooka gum box, 1963. There's a better image here, though. This one. So it has 3 cards on the back. Willie Mays, Jim Gentile, and Dick Donovan.
Like it.
Yeah. 1963 uncut box.
Interesting. Okay. I don't know. This is a tough one because I don't think the cards. I think the fact that it's uncut helps. Certainly, it looks like it's like not even. I mean, what did it ever have anything in it, or was it just?
Yeah, it would have gum in it. It would have been a box of gum.
Wow. Okay. Mark's coming out strong. Now I'm confused. I feel like that's a big number. I'm kind of more in Mr. Cubs fan range, I think. It's uncut, so I do think that's kind of cool, but I'm going to go. I don't think there's too many more people that are going to be guessing, but I'm going to go a little higher than Mr. Cubs fan. I think if maybe Mark might know something I don't, but I'm going to go $74.99.
All right, $74.99. Let me let Andy know how he did.
Okay, that sounds like a loss.
Karate, I'll kick your ass.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, not great.
I mean, you won one this week, which was shocking, but here's the price. So between the two.
Jeez, I did not think that was. Was that out of the garage find?
It wasn't. No, I actually uncovered that in a box in the warehouse. I must have totally forgot I had. It was, I'm sure, from the storage unit I bought from the person with the garage initially, but I didn't realize they even had that till recently.
That's crazy. Big price there.
Yeah, nice one.
All right. Well done on that sale. Okay, I'm going to go and see what we got here. Bear with me for 1 second. Okay. Now we're talking, my friend.
What is that? A monkey? What is that graphic?
Oh yeah.
Let me see what.
It's okay. Sam the monkey.
Sam the monkey. We have On the Beach, Santa Cruz, California, Myers, Texaco. What is this here? Can you give me any story on what this is? Is it a gas station?
No, I don't know.
Oh, so you have no idea what it is. You're just okay.
Well, it's just I think it's it's a monkey. I think it's
but it must be for a gas station, right? Like it must be like
I don't know. I didn't see anything on it, but yeah.
All right. Man, Mr. Cub fan, $89.99. This is an interesting one. Whether the interesting makes it a high price item, I don't know. $59.99. I think they're high. I mean, I would have probably priced it in those ranges because I don't know what it is. People like monkeys. People click gas and oil.
People like monkeys.
People like gas and oil. So it's got multiple. You got the monkey collectors, you got the gas and oil collectors, Petroliana, if it even is relating to that. I'm going to guess $44.
Okay.
We're just completely destroyed. That's all. Ugh. Destroyed.
Yeah. Well, you guys, I'm sorry to say, it was not.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
was that listed for a while?
Yeah, it was listed for a while.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
we put up a fair amount of California stuff. That's starting to sell a little better, but yeah.
Hey, that's all adds up, man. I like it.
It does. It does.
All right. We'll make this one a quick one and then we'll wrap it. Let's see. This is from Mr. Cubs fan. So here we have, Andy, a game used 2009 Iowa Cubs minor league baseball jersey. 2009 Iowa Cubs. Not by a big name, Brad Snyder.
Okay.
This is a Whatnot purchase. I bought this in like a Whatnot clothing show, just with a bunch of random jerseys people were selling.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think this one, even though it's game used, I don't think it is that. I'm just trying to think like what a jersey, like even a game used major leaguer, it's not going to sell for that much. I think it's under $100. I'm going to do exactly. That's what I was just going to say, Mr. Cub fan. I'll go $84.99. Just so I don't take Mr. Cub fans. I think we're all in the same genre. I think because I think it's under 100, but I don't think it's like $30 either. So,
all right, let's let you know.
Little roller up along first, behind the bag.
You Bucknered that one. You Bucknered it.
Everybody Bucknered it. We're all in the same range. What? Wow.
125. Yeah.
I'm surprised. Yeah. It was higher than
minor league stuff. Like some of the minor league pennants do well. I mean, it's newer,
yeah,
right? But yeah, I thought it might do well when I picked it up.
Interesting. Well, good to know. I'll keep my eyes open.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Over the finale. So we're gonna. Do you want to?
We're gonna spin
the
right?
wheel.
Yeah, we should probably spin. So.
Okay. So you're gonna decide who goes first.
It's our final player on our team. After countless Hall of Famers, we're gonna come up with.
Might be another Hall of Famer. You never know.
Some stiff, probably. Billy Bean.
God darn it.
What happened?
Oh, I didn't share. I didn't share it. Oh,
I won. I won. I know.
You won. Sorry.
I'll go first.
Drop the ball. All right. So the reason it's important to go first, if we both pull a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card, Andy gets Ken Griffey Jr.
That's right.
All right.
Let's go for it, baby. I'm trying to think. I don't know.
This is an easier pack than last week. Last week I pulled out those big scissors.
I'm not sure I wanted that pack. I might have wanted that.
Come on now.
You have to chew the gum if you lose.
I don't think there is gum in Fleer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think there is. All right, so we got the baseball stickers. All right.
Don't need that. Nope. Okay.
We got Pete O'Brien.
You can put that to the side. I will not be taking him. Got to give me somebody good.
Andres Thomas.
So far, it's not a good start, guys.
We got here. Not bad. Speed and power. Jose Canseco.
Okay.
All right. That's respectable.
Put that on the side. I like a little edge to
this
my
might
players.
Be your guy. Todd Froworth.
Oh, geez. How many more we got left? I'm a little worried here.
It's like 12, maybe. I don't know. Tom Herr is an all right second baseman.
I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should not look at him first. I want you to.
Well, I'm holding it up and seeing the back of the name. Okay. Roger McDowell, character.
I don't remember him.
He was in Seinfeld.
Oh.
Was he one of the guys in the spitting incident?
Maybe.
Oh, here we go. Oh,
Billy.
Oh.
It's not right.
That might say it. That's a fuck. Whoa. Curse on the real. Curse on the channel. Here we go.
Is it really?
It is. Yeah. You can see it, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I don't feel like I have to take them now. You have to put that in, though.
That's
you have
awesome.
to put that in. For those who don't know, it says
I can't put that in.
Does it say the full thing?
It definitely says it. Yeah. It definitely says it. Won't be able to see it on the camera, but it definitely says the F
That's
face
crazy.
there. Yeah. That's funny. I don't know if they ever redid that card. Maybe they did. Maybe people in the chat
I think
know.
they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say that's actually will sell. That's a
cool pull. Chuck Krim.
yeah. I don't know. I think I might have.
Bo Jackson.
Oh, okay.
It's a good pack.
Jeez, that's tough now.
Bob McClure. You probably put that over here in the knot keeper. Scott Bales. You get a lot of pitchers. Chris Sabo. He's all right. All right, third baseman.
Good, yeah. I think I got, it's between two people now.
Checklist. Let's go checklist. Charlie Hayes, third baseman for the Phillies, too. Then Steve Curry. Steve Curry. You got a lot of pitchers.
Is that my last player? Okay.
That was your last player. So, yeah, your three you might choose from are Bo Jackson, Billy Ripken, Jose Canseco.
Well, as much as I'd like to choose Billy just based on the bat alone, you won't put it in there as that, so I don't think we'll get any extra love for that. So I'm going to go with Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson was one of the. He just had an incredible career, short career, but what a career he had. One of the best arms in baseball, I think, ever.
Yeah, that's a strong pull for that pack. I better not get him a new bowl again. I got robbed the last pack. All right, I'm open for Griffey.
Griffey would be nice. That's a good. That would be a good pull. Maybe you get another F base.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I wonder how much that's going for. I know that.
I don't think it's an especially valuable card, but maybe somebody in the chat knows better than me. All right, I didn't look at anything, but it looks like a team sticker.
There you go.
All right, Craig Biggio. That's pretty good.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually,
I don't know why I was thinking Chuck Knobloch, but he couldn't throw the ball to first base. But
interestingly enough, I talked to Craig Biggio's wife on the phone at the National. I know his father-in-law and from the sports world, and I talked to his wife about their dog on the phone. He's like, you talked to Craig Biggio's wife?
I think I remember that. No, I haven't seen 8-Bit Christmas, but I knew that. That's kind of.
I seen that movie. I didn't know. I missed that reference. All right, we got Johnny Ray. Put that on my not list. Kelly Gruber.
Ooh, it's got some nice lettuce though.
Eric Plunk. That's not a good name for a pitcher, right?
No.
Oh, Von Hayes. I love Von Hayes growing up.
Von Hayes is great. Yeah, he is not an incredible baseball player though.
No, Mark Eichhorn.
Oh, some good stashes back in the day.
Junior Ortiz.
Huh.
Jeff Reardon. Pretty good closer, right? Reardon was a closer, wasn't he?
He had a sweet beard for sure.
Checklist.
I'll do that. I'll have to
Vicente Palacios. Oh, there we go. That's a good one. Edgar Martinez. Ooh. That might be the guy so far.
It's not Bo Jackson.
Tony Pena.
It's not bad. He was catcher right?
there, yeah. Ellis Burke.
He was the guy that had that. Pena was the guy that had the little splits, right? Didn't he do?
Yeah, I think he's a great defensive catcher, if I recall. Yeah. Ivan Calderon. And Tim Bertzas.
Oh, is that it?
That's it.
Oh,
I got some good options there.
Do you? To be honest, do you though?
Yeah. Edgar Martinez. If we were doing a DH, you'd probably be on the draft. So it's either Biggio or Edgar. I'm going Edgar Martinez. Martinez. Now he was the third baseman at that point, but later he became a long-time DH, right?
I think so. Yeah, definitely. I'm just trying to check out his stats now. Yeah, he
pretty close to a 300 hitter. What's his average?
I do remember his average is really good, but it's not pulling up for me right now.
I'll get it. I'll get it.
Yeah, he had 312 career batting average.
That's a strong pull there.
309. He's actually pretty good.
Yeah. So that's that's better than last week. Last week he got Dominique Wilkins. I got Manute Ball. I like this pack pull up better. Yeah. Yeah. So let me share that, and then we will we'll be wrapping it up. So there's our squad.
Interesting. I'll be interested to see how much hate I get from all my.
Yeah, I think I'll get hate too on some stuff. So, and guys, don't forget next week, like I said, we're going to draft the best comedy movies with our special guest Dan in Demand. Same time, 8:00 Wednesday Eastern time. And then tomorrow, if anyone has free time, 11 a.m., I'm going to be on with Ken versus 10 doing our death pile pennant competition. We're pulling 10 pennants each, so you can sell the most in a week's time. So both will be fun times. And that wraps it up. Let me see. Yeah. So Mark likes both. So thanks, guys, Mark. Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. Appreciate everyone stopping in. Guys, check out the Real Life Perspective show. Are you do you have a live show on Friday night? Is that what you have this week? I think it was I forget what time that is. If you want to pop it in the chat, if you're still here, definitely check out the Real Life Perspective show. If you're into pop culture stuff, very entertaining show where people guess movies based on different lines or maybe naming lines for movies. Fun show.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Definitely check it out. Okay. So we'll see you. Here we go. Let me see what he says here. Here we go. Friday. Are you afraid of the dark with Splat Attack? There you go. To be honest, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of the dark. Are you familiar with Afraid of the Dark, Andy?
I'm not
either, but I'm going to check it out ahead of time before that. So that might be more interesting for us. Never seeing it.
Very cool.
I imagine it's like a horror, I don't know what it is. We'll figure it out.
Sounds good.
8:30. All right, guys. Thanks everyone. Appreciate you all. We'll see you next Wednesday, 8:00. Thanks for all for joining us. Peace.
Yeah. Out.